Okay. So, we are here with Naja, and there's an incident she had on campus. So, there was a fire drill that happened on Empire at the time. Where were you when that started?
I was coming from Walmart with my mom. We were originally picking up food and my medicine. She
Okay.
came to bring me my medicine because I do have essential tremors and seizures and sickle cell.
Okay, and when you got back to campus, tell us what happened.
When I got back to campus, I basically saw a bunch of students there. My mom was just like, there's a crowd of students outside. And I was like, oh, wait, well, my friend's here. And my friend's with my roommate, so let me go find them. Because I was like trying to call them, was not able to get in contact with them. And so as soon as I get out of my mom's car, I'm starting to see what's going on. I see a guy coming out of the building, and basically he just has a plain gray hoodie on, regular jeans, regular sneakers. He doesn't have anything that says UAlbany, Res Life, nothing notifying them that he works for a department, a corporation, the school, the university at all. And I asked him a simple question like, hey, do you know when this is going to be done? Like, I have this stuff, I really want to come inside. Like, do you know when it's going to be over? He looks at me and completely disregards me, walks away. And I was just like, you know what? Fine. I started talking to other students, asking them like, hey, like, do you know if this is just like a fire drill, or this someone just set something on fire? Because that does happen a lot in Empire. People set stuff on fire and it's not a fire drill, it's just someone's alarm going off. So I didn't know. And they were just like, oh, like it's a fire drill, like, yeah, most likely. And I was like, oh, well, do you know it's going to be over because I have this stuff and my mom's here and I don't know where my friend is. My friend might be inside in my apartment, like, I don't know. Like, I left him there with my roommate. And then the guy just comes in my face, like, where do you live? Who are you looking for? Which apartment are you in? Where's your friend at? And he just keeps yelling at me, keeps yelling at me. And, like, to be honest, I can't deal with him yelling at me. I'm 4'11", this man is 6 feet tall and big, and he's basically a foot taller than me. And he's yelling in my face as if he's my dad. Like, you're literally verbally assaulting me in my face. You should never be this close to a student and in their face disrespecting them. And, you know, I had to step away from him because literally I was just shaking and, like, I just kept feeling it. Like, the minute he yelled at me, he just startled me, so I had to walk away. So I just walked to the back of Empire to see if, okay, if my friend is in my room, the lights would be on, if they would be off. I looked at my room window, I didn't see anything. Like, I just looked through, did like this. I was like, okay, and then I just looked in the living room, I was like, okay, no one's there. Like,
Did you step foot inside of the Empire apartment during the fire drill?
I did not at all. Like, when I got to Empire, I did not have my swipe out. I did not have my card out. I did not have my keys out. I didn't have anything out to get into the building. Nor did I touch the building door. I didn't touch the building swiper. I touched nothing of the building. All I did was look at the window and like, okay, wasn't trying to ever climb in. I can't climb in. I'm 4'11". It's around the same height as the window sills. And also, too, I have tremors on my whole left side. So I cannot climb through a window. And I had no intention of ever climbing through a window because this is a fire drill. And who climbs through a window? Like, no, I never did that.
So the school is accusing you of trying to climb through a window.
They're saying that basically he yelled at me because I was non-compliant with the fire drill, but yet I wasn't even there when the fire drill started. And on top of that, when I got there, the fire drill was basically ending, and this man has yelled at me once about where do you live, who are your friends, like, you know, he's just yelling at me, asking these questions. That's why I had to step away and just like take a breather because my seizures are triggered by stress. And like, I was shaking that whole entire night. I didn't even go to sleep. My roommates were up with me making cupcakes. So I had no intention on trying to get through the window. Like, I can't even physically do that anyway. And as soon as I was leaving, if I didn't see my lights turned on or anything in my room or the living room, I came back around. He yelled at me again, got right in my face, and was like threatening me, like, "Oh, if you ever interrupt my job like that, can't they?" And my mom saw that. Like, my mom saw that. She was in the car trying to figure out, okay, what is going on. My like little sister's in the car, so she can't leave the car fully, so she's like calling my name because she's trying to figure out what is going on and why is this big guy in my face yelling at me. And so I go to her and she's like, "Who is that man? Why is he just yelling in your face? Like, who is that guy?" I was like, "Mommy, I don't know. I just want to go get his name. Like, I want to report him. Like, Mommy, I need to report him. He just got in my face and he just disrespected me. That's not cool." My mom's just like, calm down, because I was just shaking and shaking. And she was like, "Just calm down. It looks like they're going in. Like, let's go in." So I went in and he yelled at me again. And I'm just like, "Get out of my face. Don't be in my face." And this was at the point where I was entering the Empire building. After the fire drill was over, I was entering the Empire building along with the other students, because other students already came in the building. And I went in with my roommate and my friend. And he just starts yelling at me, straight yelling at me.
So that was the second time he yelled at you?
Yes. And then after my mom leaves, my mom told me to stay here and stay in my room and just leave it alone and wait till the next day, because she saw that I was shaking, and she was like, "You have your medication. Like, I would just want you to take your medication. I just want you to relax right now, because, like, you're really shaking and you need to just, forget about him. Like, just worry about it another time." And I was like, "Mommy, I can't leave this alone, because, like, right now I'm just really upset that he really just yelled at me. Like, Mommy, he just really yelled at me." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. We'll handle it the next day." So I waited a few minutes after she left, and then I went to the Empire Community Building. And as soon as I come in, I'm like, "Hey, like, I need to know the name of the guy who had the alarm set off and turned it back on. Like, I need to figure out his name. Like, what's his name? I need his name. I want to report him." And there he goes. He cuts me off. I did not even know that he was literally standing right behind the desk. I don't know who he was talking to, but he heard me and cut me right off, and he just started going off on me. And I was like, "No, you don't get to yell at me." And I was like, "You owe me an apology. You disrespected me." And then on the side, there's like some guy that works for Res Life. He had on an Under Armour hoodie, and he was just laughing like this was like amusement for him. Like, he was really laughing like this was a joke. And I'm so glad that another female had stepped in and spoke to the gentleman, and she was like, "Do you realize how big you are, sir? Do you realize that you just stepped to her and you just asked her and you yelled at her and you harassed her?" And I have it all on video. Yes.
So you said that you have it on video. You posted it to your social media account, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Would you mind giving us your handle?
Yes. You can find the video at Problem Child NYJ, and I posted also to UAlbany PD because I felt really threatened, and I was like, I had to record him because I felt really threatened. I was like, this is a big guy. Like, he doesn't look like he works for the university because he has no badge. He didn't identify himself that he works for the university or anything. He just chose to not identify himself to me. But yet he's asking me, where do I live? Who are you looking for? What friend? Who's in here? Who's in there? Like, you're asking me all these questions, and yet I don't even know who you are, and you're like a foot taller than me. You're 6 feet tall, and you're huge, and you're in my face, and you think that's okay. And then when I asked you for an apology, saying that you owe me an apology, you're laughing as if I don't deserve an apology because I don't matter. And that's how you took it. And you was like, I don't have to apologize to you. Like, that was a joke to you. This is the second time this man has yelled at me. The first time he yelled at me was around the time in September, and luckily I always have my nutritionist come check on me every month. Every month she checks on me, and she saw that he had basically yelled at me and I was shaking, and she was like, she needs to come back in here and come get her medicine because she is shaking and she has seizures. Like, the way you're talking to her right now is inappropriate. And like, he was upset because they had to let me back in the building to go get my medical vape pen and my medical cannabis, because it was just like, he yelled at me. He startled me. I didn't even know there was a drill going on, and he just yelled at me for no reason that first time. And so for the second time that he yelled at me, I didn't even realize that was the same guy until I showed his picture to someone, and they was like, oh, that's the same guy. Like, that's the guy that you had the interaction with the first time where you got startled and you had to come back into the building to come get your medical cannabis. Like, this is not the first time he has yelled at me, and this man clearly has no regards or no respect towards students of color, and that's exactly how I feel. And for him to laugh at me when I said that you owe me an apology, you take it that I'm a child so you can yell at me, or like I'm beneath you so you can yell at me and you think that's okay, and the school thinks that's okay, because when I told them that, they said that's not a, you know, a reason to call UAPD, that's more of an HR issue. So it's an HR issue that your staff members verbally assaulted me in front of my family and in front of other students, but the university thinks that's okay. And I feel like the university only thinks that's okay because they want to justify it as me being non-compliant with the fire drill. A fire drill that I had nothing to deal with, and I did not break any rules at all about the fire drill. I've never broken a rule about a fire drill since I've been on this campus. I've always abided by the laws of whenever there's a fire drill to leave the building. I've always done that. I've never disrespected the policy at all. And for the school to be telling me to basically sign an agreement saying that I have to take responsibility for being non-compliant for a fire drill, I was like, I'm not gonna sign something saying that I was non-compliant. I didn't do that. I didn't do anything at all, so I'm not gonna take that. And I just feel like this is another attack on the university, on me, after the whole lawsuit. The lawsuit was that I come back to school and I would not talk about it and I would be able to graduate. And basically the school lost, and I ended up winning. The judge made it clear that, listen, her health is real. This girl is not faking her health. I do have sickle cell, I do have seizures, and I do have essential tremors. And I left here in 2015 because I got so sick. I was so sick. I was in here having back-to-back sickle cell pain crisis. And I was doing so much for the school, volunteering, always helping out. And yet, I got sick. I was supposed to graduate that year, but I didn't get to because I was caught up in so much pain, doing so much for the university, and what I get repaid by being sued for 2 whole years.
What do you think an appropriate solution would be for you?
I think that if the university thinks that I'm not compliant with the fire drill, that's not true. They can probably say that, okay, I should have crossed the street with the other students, but I didn't know. That's why when I asked the guy questions, he didn't want to answer me, so I did not know what to do after that. But I do believe the university and him owes me an apology, and for them to just brush it off like this is an HR issue, that's inappropriate. Especially that my mom and other students have said that that man did get in my face, and it's on video. It doesn't get any realer than that. You have a student here who left in 2015. All I want to do is graduate and get my degree. I came back here doing the best I can do. And what more do you want? You sent me to the hospital Friday. You guys attacked me again on Friday, having 5 caught in my face. And what happened? For homecoming weekend, where did I spend my Friday? In Albany Med. Because you guys sent me there. You guys sent me back into having another seizure. After my mom told you guys to back up, she needs space. My mom told you guys that, and you guys kept pushing me and kept pushing me. He just needs to apologize